What's good, YouTube? Welcome to Conscentiam Gaming with Gerald Guitar God and Galen Cross.
Sup?
In today's video, we will be reacting to the top video game trailers of 2021. Our first trailer brings us to a fantasy world filled with great loot.
Fate. It soars on the wind. It rises from the grave. It stalks the ocean floor. You cannot hide from fate. But you can make your own.
Alright, so first off, I'd like to comment on the graphics. The graphics are very similar to Borderlands. I almost thought it was Borderlands, but it was quite colorful from what I've seen.
Well,
Borderlands was never, yeah?
Well, Borderlands is by default colorful. It is the same creators, same studio, same group, and in Borderlands 2, they actually had a DLC that was very similar to this world, with Tiny Tina leading the Dungeons & Dragons campaign.
So is Tiny Tina the main protagonist or antagonist? What is she in this game?
She would technically be the Dungeon Master, I believe. I don't think she'll be a playable character.
But will you be able to encounter in the game?
I feel like she'll force herself into the campaign. They'll make like a princess or something out of her, just because of how her character is.
Okay. And another question I've got with what I saw in the trailer now was the Butt Stallion. Can you explain to me what the hell is that? What the hell was that?
So
from someone who's never played Borderlands, explain this to me.
So Butt Stallion is a reference to a stallion that was in Borderlands 2 that Handsome Jack introduced. It is a pony made out of diamonds that when fed iridium shits out guns.
So does this thing shit out guns?
Well, I don't know. We only have one trailer to go on, and that it's coming out early 2022.
Oh, so is this game still in development?
I feel that they're almost, for it to be coming out so soon, I feel like they're almost done. They did a little bit of talking about it. I know there is spells in the game. They didn't really mention anything about classes, and I'm hoping that Butt Stallion is a possible mount.
Okay, so with regards to this game and its classes, would you consider this game to be a mixture of other fantasy games with Borderlands? And if so, what other fantasy games would this be like similar to?
I feel like this is just a thing on its own. They saw the popularity of the Borderlands 2 D&D expansion that they did, and they were like, well, our fans loved it. Let's make another entire video game out of it that's got the same premise as Borderlands, but we don't have to carry the story further in Borderlands. Because Borderlands 3 was such an impressive game, I feel like they want to have time to develop that story and create a new Borderlands 4. And that's why this is produced, just to keep us going until, Borderlands 4 comes out.
What in this game would we be able to find in Borderlands? Like, say, for example, would you be able to have the same guns?
It'll be the same loot system. There's a bajillion guns with randomly rolled stats. It'll have the exact same loot system. That's every single every single Borderlands spin-off game, I guess.
Jumping from a world with great epic loot into the vastness of space with Starfield.
Constellation Starship Frontier, we have you on check. Helium-3 tanks check. Seals are intact. Clear still go.
They say, the wonder is, not that the field of stars is so vast, but that we have measured it. You're part of Constellation now. Part of our family. What you've found, it's the key to unlocking everything.
We reach your constellation.
This is all we've been working towards.
Jemison route looks good.
We've come to the beginning of humanity's final journey.
Prepare for departure. Graviton loop array full check. Your space lane is clear.
That's why we're here.
Main engines go. Ignition.
To discover what's out there.
Good luck, Constellation. You are go for launch.
All right, so first of all, I'd just like to comment on this game's insane detail. It actually blew me away. I just sometimes forget to see how crazy and detailed these games are becoming these days. What do you think of that? What do you think of the detail in this game? Like when I look at the screws in like holding the console together inside the ships, I could literally see the details in the grooves. You know, it just looked so realistic. What do you think?
Well, I mean, considering the way the new consoles are and the new graphics cards that are out, we've got ray tracing, we've got, 4K 60 FPS moving on to 8K 60 FPS to 120 FPS. Games have to get with the times and have to be graphically demanding. Like, you can't stay behind for those that don't have the modern consoles and the modern hardware. I just hope that it doesn't end up like Andromeda did. Mass Effect Andromeda, going from place to place. The worlds were boring. The eyes and lips just never synced up properly in the game was just an issue.
Another thing I noticed was, and I've heard about this as well, was there was a mark. If you go and take a look on the one spaceship's console, there's like a little mark, and someone pointed out that mark is with reference to Redfall from the Elder Scrolls. Redfall is a province in Tamriel in the Elder Scrolls universe. It looks like it's a hint towards the next Elder Scrolls 6. What is your take on that? What do you think of that?
I definitely think they are hinting towards the new Elder Scrolls. I definitely think they are, and I think they want to surprise launch it. Like, one day it's there, well, one day it's not there, and one day it's just suddenly in the shops. There's Elder Scrolls 6.
Another question is, would this gameplay be similar to Fallout and the Elder Scrolls? I personally hope it is, because I'm a big fan of how the Elder Scrolls and the Fallout gameplay was built. It just seems more realistic and more fun for me to enjoy and play. What do you think?
They did in a conference mention that they have never done something this way before. They have never built a game like this.
So it's going to be different, the gameplay.
It could very easily be different. It could be very easily be more advanced.
It might just be a fresh start for players, especially all the players who've been playing Elder Scrolls 3 Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, and Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 and New Vegas. So it might just be a fresh start for them.
It could be an updated UI that works better with the newer graphics cards. It could be a way more advanced skill tree. The learning curve could be very steep. Usually space games have that effect where, you look at Elite Dangerous. It's a very steep learning curve to play the game.
And would this game be free roam, or is it set on a mission on mission kind of
100% free roam, man. You can't set space game to be mission to mission.
No, I think people would 100% fail if they game companies will 100% fail if they made space missions when there's no free roam. With the fight between World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV, we will soon have a new contender. Or should I say, new world?
What is Eternum? The substance of legends. The pulse of adventure. The glory of triumph. Eternum is life eternal. And death incarnate. What is Eternum? The fires of destruction, rage and malice. Eternum is the truth behind nightmares. What is Eternum? That depends on you.
Alright, so my main question is, what? What is this game? When I saw this trailer now, I was confused. There were so many things going on in this game. Like, there was a British Civil War uniform that I saw. I might be mistaken, but that's what I saw. I saw people wearing different knights' armors. I saw elves. I saw, like, monsters. It just looked so confusing. Like, the game was switching from one thing to another. It looked like a medieval game at one point. Then it looked like a modern game at another point. It just looked, there was so many things happening all at once, and it was like an overload. It looked so epic and fantastical. It was an overload though. What are your takes on it?
Well, the weapons can be explained by obviously the fact that it's an MMO. It's a fantasy world, so at that point in time there would be guns developed, there may be shields, there may be swords, all at the same time. It's a fantasy world, so there's spells, obviously. There has to be monsters, those corrupted by spells, or the cursed lands, I guess.
This looks very much like those kind of games like Darksiders and what's that other, Dark Souls. And this game looks very similar to that. Almost, is this game from the same creators as Dark Souls or Darksiders or what?
No. This is from Amazon. It is a new MMO that's set to launch soon. I've already pre-ordered because I want my beta key for this thing.
So Amazon has made this game?
Amazon has made, developed, and they are releasing this game. From what I can see, there is no monthly subscription to it. Most MMOs popular, like World of Warcraft, like Final Fantasy, are a game that you essentially have to pay for the latest expansion and pay for monthly subscriptions. This game is a once-off beginning payment, exactly how Guild Wars 2 used to be, until Guild Wars 2 turned completely free, except for the expansions.
So it's an online game.
Yeah, it's an MMO. It's massively multiplayer online. So you're going to be running raids with your friends. You're going to be developing your class, trying to get good loot, getting your best weapons that you can, figuring out the best skill tree to deal the most damage or heal the most or tank the most.
And is there any story behind it? Like that main storyline?
That will have to be explained as the game progresses, as time progresses in the game. There will be obviously the different races' stories. Why are they here? Why is there an elf with a human? Like, why and where did they come from into this world?
All I can say about this game is, if someone has to play it, they will not be able to finish it in their lifetime. It just looks like there's too much to do, too many things to choose from, it just looks like a big, overall exciting game.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely hype, and the rest of everyone out there that likes MMOs should be.
Jumping from fantasy to space to a huge MMO, we have something a bit more mellow to round it all up. Here is Fable.
The world is filled with stories of legendary heroes and treacherous villains, of fantastical creatures and wondrous places where nature and magic live in perfect harmony. Not all stories have happy endings. But yours has yet to be written.
Wow, damn, those graphics, they look sick. They look as if what we would see if we lived in a fantasy world and we were walking to work and we'd see a fairy just like chilling next to us with a briefcase in his hand. I just love the graphics. The graphics looked spectacular. I really enjoyed that humorous part where the fairy gets swallowed by a toad, and I hope the game is as humorous as the trailer is, and that fairies get eaten by toads as well, and a lot. What do you think?
Well, I hope that I get to kick a chicken. That's all I want.
Kick a chicken?
In the other Fables, you could kick a chicken, and you could
That's
win
illegal,
points.
Maji. That's illegal.
It's a video game, you could kick a chicken.
Okay, but...
maybe this one you get to kick a toad. Yeah, the other Fable games were very... Fable 1 was definitely the best, and this is a reboot of the Fable franchise.
Isn't Fable like a VR kind of game? Like you have controllers in your hands and you play with your hands, or is it a controller game?
It's a controller game.
Okay, so is it like a first-person kind of game, like a first-person fantasy game?
I think it's over the shoulder. I haven't played a Fable game in a very long time. I think it's over the shoulder. But yeah, you have bows, you got swords, you got spells, you level stuff up, you get mystical swords, part of your main quest. You go on side quests, they've got whorehouses.
I keep thinking Fable is this children's game it's designed for children. I didn't know it was more.
No, it's definitely not for children.
Alright, YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic game trailer reviews and epic gameplays. Until next time.